So this morning I've got a series of hypothetical questions to ask doctors such as Daryl Mullen. He's a GP, general practitioner, who has got practice in Parbold, which is near Wigan in England. So what's great about hypothetical questions is that they relate to the future rather than things that have happened already in the past, which of course rules out any accusations that I'm spreading medical misinformation, because these are just hypotheticals, yeah? But for what it's worth, I think these scenarios that I'm going to paint out in a minute are highly likely to occur. And the reason for that is that they're based on current trends. I'm just extrapolating these trends forward into the future to make these predictions. And what I'm very interested in, Daryl, this is GP Dr. Daryl Mullen, is how are you going to react when you're asked or instructed to do various things. So scenario one relates to this weight loss injection, this Ozempic. So at the moment, there's informed consent, I would say. But what would you do, Daryl, if a patient of yours came to your practice in tears and said, I've been threatened with losing my unemployment benefit if I don't have this Ozempic injection? The government has got this policy now. I'm overweight, I'm too fat to work. They've told me I have to go on Ozempic or lose my benefits. So my question to you, Daryl, and to GPs like you is, what are you going to do in that situation? Are you going to jab this person with Ozempic even though they don't really want it and they're only having it to keep their benefits? What are you going to do? Are you going to jab them, or are you going to say, sorry, I don't think that there's informed consent here, and basic medical ethics say that I shouldn't be injecting anybody with anything if there's no informed consent? And obviously being coerced into having this medication for fear of losing your unemployment benefits or maybe some other benefit, some welfare payment, that wouldn't be informed consent. So what are you going to do when the government introduces this? You know, no weight loss jab, no benefits. What are you going to do? Are you just going to jab her, or are you going to make a principled stand? So that's the first question. So just to reiterate, so there's no doubt about here, this patient in front of you is crying. They're telling you that they're scared, they don't want to have this injection, and they're only turning up to your surgery to be jabbed because they don't want to have their benefit cuts. What are you going to do? I know. You know, I suspect, you know, for you it would actually depend on whether the order came from a Conservative government or a Labour government. You know, the same order, it could be good or bad. You know, obviously it would be bad if it was the Conservatives threatening people with removing their welfare benefits if they don't get injected. Whereas, you know, if it was Labour, then obviously it would be a good thing. But, you know, like, would there be informed consent in that scenario? Yes or no? I guess some of the regular viewers of my channel would say, well, this scenario, very, very similar things have happened not so long ago, you know, where people they were coerced, weren't they? If you don't take part in this medical experiment, you can't go on holiday, you can't travel for business. You know, realistically, you're probably losing your job. You're going to be, if you don't take part in the experiment, you can't go to a music festival if you're a teenager. You can't go to a restaurant, etc. So I do get that. So second scenario relates to these smart watches. So Wes Street, in the Health Secretary, has thrown out this possibility that in the future people will be given these smart watches to monitor various vital signs. Now, some people might actually like that, but I also can envisage, depending on what happens with the use of this data, there might be some people who don't want that. But again, what are you going to do, Daryl, in a situation where the government is saying to people, you're going to have to wear this smartwatch because if you don't, we're going to take your benefit money away. So what are you going to do? Are you going to give out these watches to these people who've been coerced into wearing them, or what? Or are you going to take a moral stand and say, no, this is in breach of basic medical ethics, because there is coercion here. Coercion is basically using bribes or a threat to manipulate somebody into taking a course of action that they otherwise wouldn't have taken in a situation where they had free choice. Yeah, so those are my questions to you, Dr. Daryl Mullen, and to other GPs working in the NHS too. It's make your mind up time. What are you going to do when you're asked to do utterly immoral things in the future? Are you going to just follow orders, or are you going to make a principled moral stand? So that's all I want to say today. So God bless.